All right, so first project we got here is a landscaping job. I've never done this before, so I don't really know what I'm doing. But you'll see I've cleared out all the rocks already. There was some existing stuff here we'll walk through. Right now I'm just digging up the sprinkler heads to try to figure out where the sprinkler pipes run so that I can reroute everything back into the garden bed we're working with. So prior to this, we had a whole bunch of large rocks here. I was able to use a sieve that I made and get most of the big rocks out, and now we're just coming up with a plan. Actually put a weed barrier down, plant some bushes and shrubs along with the garden here, and get that going. And then there's some staining on the window and wall over here, so I suspect that there was some kind of sprinkler head in the garden at one point. You can see the discoloration on the bricks of the house. It's really common in this area just due to the metals in the water. So, all right, we got this zone up and running. Oh, good news. This will make this easier. So we've got this guy right here. One thing I failed to mention while I was clearing out all these rocks, I actually came across some existing tubing from a previous, looks like sprayer that was in the rocks, and then I found another little stake. I'm not sure if it came from, actually it wouldn't have come from this one because this one already has a stake on it, but as you can see in here there was already some type of irrigation system. So now I'm trying to just try and basically figure out, was that cut previously, is it existing in this? So we're at that sprinkler head that we found right now, and I'm going to go ahead and dig it up. Unfortunately, this is probably going to be way more digging than I need to do, but I don't know any other way to do this. So dig it up, see if I can find where the line is spliced, and then from there we'll dig it out and hopefully find the culprit for the missing sprayer head and get it installed or move it closer to the garden boxing where I'm planning on putting in some shrubs. So right now we're just trying to get to the bottom of this guy. It's got one hose on it right there, so it goes this way. So we're gonna dig along this, and like I said, no clue if this is the right answer, but in my dumb brain, this is what we're gonna do. All right, so we had that sprinkler head go all the way to here, and now it made a right angle and is heading back into the yard. But what I'm hoping is that this goes this direction and then cuts left. But until we continue digging, there's no way to know. All right, next update. So we traced the line from there, 90-degree angle, and then it went down, and now we're at the PVC pipe. So now digging should be easier because I'm not worried about cutting anything. Flexible hose to here to the PVC, little 90 elbow, and then to here we've got a T intersection with a pipe going this way and another pipe going that way. This is a lot of effort for what I think should be a sprinkler head there. If not, I'll at least know, and then I can just splice off of this flexible hose that's already existing, like I said. All right, so we got the system testing. So here's that joint, and if you go here, there is nothing in that direction other than that sprinkler head way over there. So unfortunately, my guess is that there is something that's supposed to be in here. So now, unfortunately, we're gonna have to dig from there. I know eventually it'll get to there. I'm assuming it's a straight pipe that just runs all the way to about over here. From there, oops, get out of the way of this guy. However, in order for me to determine if there's actually something there, I'm gonna probably have to dig to, I don't know, halfway through to find out for sure. So unfortunately, we're back to digging. I'll give you an update where we are now. I elected not to dig, so I went a couple of feet to where I thought the branch would be. So I got the PVC pipe. You can see these roots. That's a big root there. There's another one. PVC's underneath that. You can barely make it out in the white. So I'm continuing. Gotten to here, which is about even where that stain is. So we're going to continue to dig. I think if I get to this concrete pad and I haven't hit a joint that splices that direction, I think I'm just going to call it. Okay, the digging was worth it. So dug all the way to here, said we'll go to the concrete pad. Sure enough, we get there and there's a three-way intersection. So we've got that, we don't know where that goes. However, that's going to be our culprit. So we're going to dig to that. I was right, joint. I'm sure some landscaping dude is going to watch this and say, yo, you should have dug next to the concrete pad initially, because that's where it's going. So we got 90 to another 1/2 inch tube, and there's an end cap here, so they closed it off. So what I'm thinking about doing is just getting 1/2 inch tubing and then running it all the way down to the end, put a threaded end cap there at the end, and then just do 1/4 inch micro tubing offshoots. We'll have a couple of sprayers for the garden box, and then maybe some drip lines or sprayers for whatever flowers or bushes that my wife wants to put in here. Alright, so we pulled this out. I took the end cap off. We have water pressure going to this guy. Just got home from my local big box stores. I had to go to both of them, and unfortunately one had a better selection of the Rainbird stuff, so I ended up going with that. I'll show you where I went. Okay, so we've got 50 feet of 1/2 inch tubing, 100 feet of 1/4 inch micro tubing. This will be the 90-degree elbow that we'll put in. We'll show you in a second. And then the end cap. We've got some tubing stakes to secure the 1/2 inch once we've got that set. And then these are the couplers to go from the micro tubing to the different sprayers and dripper things and bubblers. Got 2 packs of drippers for the small plants that I'm planning on putting in. Got a staked bubbler, stakes to hold down everything. And then I got these fan sprayers that are elevated. That's more for the garden bed. I bought 4. Not really sure what I'm going to use or how I want to have it oriented, so I'm going to kind of just play around with it once we have everything planted and set up. And then lastly, this is the hole punch for the 1/2 inch tubing. Sweet. Just moved all these bricks. Got 175 bricks right here. They've been sitting in the yard for the past 5 years. Previous owner said that they had been sitting there the whole time. So my plan is I'm going to use this for the siding, for the landscaping back here. That one in. Alright, so it looks like we got a little bit of a leak here. We're running the system right now. So a leak at the elbow we got to fix. And then getting good flow over here. So it looks like the system's working. Sweet, garden bed's done. We got 3 layers of bricks, and now we're going to lay down the weed barrier. Unfortunately, I probably should have measured it a little bit better, and I'm sure I'll figure this out, but this is what it looks like now. So 3 layers, mulch from out front, layered in with some leaves just to add some organics. I have no idea if this is going to work. It probably won't. All right, and these are the stakes I got from Amazon. They're frequently bought together, and so we're just going to stake this through. I'm not sure if I'm going to need a hammer or what, but we're just going to do this. Oh. Weed barrier's down now, so all this is ready to go and ready for plants. Okay, we got everything in place. All the plants are in now. We've got the soil in for the garden box. Watered them down from there to there. Okay. I'm not getting any water through there, so that's a problem. But it is leaking through there. Interesting. Maybe I put the wrong coupler in? Okay, we got the sprinkler system back on. As you can tell, we're getting water to the microtubing. It's just nothing's coming out of the dripper. Alright, cool. We had the drippers on backwards, so make sure you look at the instructions before you install them. Sweet, all the drip lines are in. I just have to get the stakes for them, so I have to run back to my local store to get that. I don't know if I'm going to do it tonight or tomorrow. The initial plants are in the garden box. I put a sprayer in. We're going to test that, see how that spreads. And then we got the 4 drip lines over here for these 4. So finishing up the last day of the project here. So we got our 1/4-inch microtubing. Unfortunately, the big box store was sold out of it. Sorry, 1/4-inch microtubing stake. The big box store was sold out of it. So now we're just gonna stake down all these microtubing lines, and then we're gonna spread the mulch in the back. As you can see, unfortunately, we had a pretty big storm come through and it knocked all these leaves in, and now they're all in the flower bed, so it's not going to look as gorgeous as it did initially. I'm not going to go through and individually pick up all these leaves for the video. The backyard is completely done now. It came out pretty much exactly how I thought it was going to come out once I had the initial plan in my head. I changed up the flowers a little bit, and then I spent a lot more time laying the bricks. I don't know the total cost. I could probably come up with that, but I basically reused a ton of stuff that I already had lying around, between the sandbox for the garden bed, which is right here. Like I said, that was just a children's sandbox. And then the bricks that were just piled up next to the house. It's obviously in the backyard, so I didn't really care about using kind of a substandard edging material like a brick, but it allowed me to practice with doing this, so that when I do the back or the front yard, hopefully I'm a little bit better at it. Like I said, I'll try and calculate the total cost for the project. I would definitely try and do this in the springtime. That's when a lot of the mulch bags are on sale and the garden soil's on sale. But overall, I'm pretty happy with it. We'll check back in like a year or two, I guess, and see how the plants are holding up. Hopefully the garden's not too overgrown by then. And it looks like the bell peppers are already kind of jumping up. So hopefully this works. If you've watched this far, I appreciate it. Like I said, I have no idea what I'm doing here, but I think that this turned out pretty well for a DIY landscape and garden box in the backyard. Thanks for watching. Bye.